All right, so welcome back. I got a little busy last night, worked on some other things, so I'll show you that real quick. I ended up making the dialog box programmable. So I made it so that I can basically just goes through a text and it can go through multiple strings of that. Then it has like the little character name, and then that's about it. And it just shows up or disappears. I added some just basic objects. It's not really that impressive what it is. And then I guess technically we did the paper sound for interacting, so I can add that to other things. I would like that to show up whenever the dialog box shows up, so maybe I'll put that in here. And then I was going to plan on working today on mainly just drawing. So I'll get that going. I do have to find where I actually have like a drawing of what the next rooms look like, because I don't know if I've drawn those on paper yet, but I could just end up drawing it on my tablet. So let's take a look at what I did so far with the game here. Oh, here. No. Let's do this one. Okay. So if we hop into here, these little white objects are just test objects. And so if I click on that, pops up this little thing, and it has this, like, you know, little text that comes up, and then it automatically disappears. If I click through it, then it, you know, does the classic dialogue thing where it skips all of it. And then I just have multiple of these. Right now it might look kind of weird. If I click multiple times, though, it cues in multiple dialogues, which is useful because then that means if, like, there's a conversation, I can queue up all of the conversation elements, and then it just runs through the whole thing. So anyway, for now, that's a huge step for me, because all that I need to do from here is just add more interactable items and whatnot. If you missed it, we worked on getting this hand-drawn balcony and everything here, which is really cool looking, in my opinion. I really enjoy this aesthetic. And then we're just going to draw more of that. So if we head out over in this direction, we get to the edge of the room, and I want to add more. So we have more areas to explore, because it's actually starting to feel like a game now. So this is cool. So then out here, we'll add some other elements. And then at some point, I am going to have to figure out the lighting mechanic, and I'm probably gonna have to end up coding something like that. I don't want to do it right now though, so, but I'm gonna have to rewrite lighting renderer, something like that. So, all right, for now, we're gonna pull up this guy. Let me get my drawing tablet hooked up here, and then we are on to making some actual art for the levels. Probably should figure out a better setup for this, but I gotta attach my cord to the tablet through my desk and stuff. Okay. So from here, we should look for where I have this, where these files are at. It might be in my concept art. I'm not quite sure though. No, I think I just have the main room in there. So I am going to look at what I've actually drawn so far in terms of, like, my papers, because it's going to be in one of these things here, presumably, and then we need to figure that out, you know. Yeah, anyway, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure I've shown this on the stream before, but this is just some more of the fun art that I have for, like, the character designs, and that'll be fun to work on at some point. So for the most part, I think this is as in-depth as I ever got with the level design. So we're gonna have to convert this into something. I started redrawing it in a notebook somewhere. I don't know where. It was either this notebook or it's one that I have on the floor over there. Okay, I think it's the other one. Let me grab that. Also, I've got a bad cold today, so I'm all sniffly and stuff, but onward we work. So we have kind of a big task ahead of us. I'm going to start by kind of mimicking our previous level design. I saved the actual files for that, so we can just kind of copy that. I mean, for the aspect ratios and the dimensions and all of that. Question is, where did I put it? I know I saved it somewhere. Okay. Let me search for it real quick. Perfect. Okay. So, got this. We're gonna kind of imitate this. I might go ahead and... How do I want to do the tiling as well? Because I like how this worked out. I want to keep going with this kind of format. Also, in between this room and the next room, I mean, essentially, what I can do is just extend this image. If we just go here and... Oh, it is kind of a high resolution image. Maybe I don't want to do that. Okay, let's just copy, like, this part. Here, let me actually grab the actual image itself and not the file. We want to grab this guy, and then we'll copy this part of it, and that way we know as we extend this out that the two will line up perfectly. So don't want to resize, we want to extend it, and let's just bump it out to like whatever the 42? I don't know. How would that work? Is it a power of 2? 480. Not that this matters. Okay. So we got this. And then the other thing that we could do is copy this over. So then this gives us just a bunch of tiling here. And honestly, I might be able to line this up. And if I do that, that is going to make the rest of this pretty easy. Because I was going for that kind of distorted, warped, I don't know, texturing with this. We've already done that before. Maybe I don't want to do that, and I want to conform whatever texture I end up using to whatever we draw afterward. So I might want to rethink that. For now, maybe I'll keep it. This looks fine. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. So we'll do this. Yeah. So then from here, we are going to draw the rest of the map. So let me copy this background picture here. Throw it on this one. And then from here, we have my line. Okay. Is my line thicker than that when I draw? Or is that the right thickness? Okay, what's happened? Why did it do that? Oh, weird. Oh no, it's done the thing where it has my mouse over on this side of the screen when I try to... Dang it. Happens... That's so weird. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I have to change this to that area. It looks like it's that area, but when I have to calibrate it. So I guess you can be working on one monitor, but if you've calibrated like all the way on the other monitor, it doesn't matter. I don't get it. But anyway. And then I never move it back to the other area, so it's kind of strange. That looks relatively thin. Why is it so thin? Was I drawing with a 3 level thickness before? I don't know if I was. My lines look a lot thicker than that. Yeah. What kind of thickness is this then? If we look over at this. Also, I'm kind of curious what this looks like. Interesting. Okay. So that's the shading line, but the actual outline itself is quite thick. So is this okay? Oh, my hardness. That's what's up. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah, okay, we got it now. Weird. Okay, so then from here, in this area, let's look at my drawing here. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna draw a brief overview of like the entire map, and then we can just kind of copy it from this. So we don't want to do aspect ratio. So from here, we have our main room. This comes into kind of a opening here. There's kind of some things that you can interact with here. And then let's see, I set up, yep, so that you go up these stairs into this balcony. Then you go out into this courtyard right here. I've got these big Roman steps that you come out on here. And then, oh, those are more steps. Okay, so then we come across these square steps, but you go through these kind of like Colosseum columns. And then this area I wasn't as sure about, so I've kind of changed it a little bit, because if players are going to be replaying the same thing over and over again, I don't want it to be super boring. So I think I had like this really complicated maze set up here, and I don't know, it looks like it's too much. So I could take some inspiration, but okay, point is maze, and I don't know what it's gonna look like. Then in the maze, we have this little area here that will be a bonus section that opens up, and I'll explain that later. And at this point in the game, like, you haven't gone that far for it to feel like it's a chore. You aren't going to be, it's not like a roguelike. So it's, the game itself is a little bit different than something like Hades, where it's just like replaying the same stuff over and over again. Each playthrough like will be a good like couple hours, hopefully. And so you're only going to see this kind of content like every so often. So I don't want it to be too streamlined. But then from here, you'll come out, let's see, looks like you come upstairs, you go into this little room, and then this has these two columns that you go through, and then you come into a doorway, which takes you to a smaller hallway, which takes you to another little like I'm thinking like this would be like a vaulted ceiling room. There's like this little insignia here on the floor. There's like a mural. And then in here is a bonus area, which will take you to the library. And then over here is, yeah, pretty much that's it. All of that's aesthetic. So Then you go down these steps, go into this little basement area, and then this is really where the game starts. And then from here, there's a little scenario here, and then you go through a door. And that is the end of the level. So, pretty straightforward. And then with how the game progresses, or how it actually plays out, is that there is this fog, hence the name, roll credits, that rolls through the level. And throughout the game, this just continues to roll in thicker and thicker, and it kind of just forces the player to continue to progress through the level, and it's unrelenting, and so it just keeps coming. And so then the levels have to be very straightforward, because you can't really go up or down too far, because then you run into the fog. So, kind of curious what's going on here. Okay, he has to be underneath this layer here. But yeah, looks good. Looks good. And then these guys are... Okay, they're under. They're good. Okay. Yeah. So this is... Yeah, I'll work on this later. Anyway, so let's get back to drawing. And let's go ahead and figure out how to do a lot of this. I think... Which side is my camera better on? I think this one. So we are going to basically grab this area here. And then honestly what I'm going to do is just kind of set this up so it's similar proportions to what we have here. Do I want it to be much bigger? Probably not. In fact, now that I think about it, I probably want it to be very similar proportions to what is visible on screen, which seems to be only from like about here down to about there. So if the edge of this room is from here to here, then that is good. So let's make it a little bit smaller. About there to there. Okay. And then that is our kind of rough little edge line on there. And then we'll just set this up here-ish. And let's give that a shot. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll make that kind of transparent. Okay, so now we just have to get to work. So from here, like my only real task is just kind of filling in these lines. So this kind of makes everything easy. And then we are here. Actually, when I am got my head down, this might look better. Okay, cool. So in this room, it's a little interesting because it's kind of some lore elements right off the bat, which is cool, and so it sets the tone for the game. But how, I guess, what you end up doing throughout the game is you walk around and you explore just all of these different maps, and you talk with people who are in this world as this fog is rolling in. And it has a fairly, I guess, I don't know, depressing or I want to be able to look at the camera. But it's got dark themes and whatnot. But the main like root of the game, and like the whole reason that Keegan is in this world to begin with. Is that it's kind of about this tragedy where he has his family, and he's basically trying to save them, and that they're either dead or dying, and this whole world then that he is in this like kind of simulation of his past memories of them as a way of like resurrecting them, but he gets kind of stuck in that. And right here, I don't know how I'll draw it, I'll have to do this later, are these kind of like flower bushes, but they look a lot more organic than that, and so they almost look like I don't want it to be that grotesque, but they look like brains almost, and it's supposed to represent like each of like the family members and stuff, and you don't really know what it is as the player coming into it, but it's just this like reminder every time that you pass by it that this is why Keegan is in here and why he's doing this, but he kind of has forgotten that over time. Okay. And then this comes out. Probably want this a little wider and more narrow, and less narrow. That's a pretty good sizing for everything. Ooh, I might want to. This looks a little asymmetric here. But we're going to bring this down here. And then that's probably good enough, so I can get rid of this. Whoops. Duplicated it there. Okay, so let me deal with this real quick. Nope. Doing all the wrong things. Okay. No, I don't want to move the whole thing. Hang on. Just want to move this section right there. Okay, and that's relatively centered. So let's give that a shot. So from here to here, we're going to want this to be moved up. Okay, so then you come into here, and that's relatively centered, and that's fine. Again, hand-drawn feel, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then up here, there is, and it's funny, because I think that I did this on purpose, but like throughout all of this map, like, you see that there's all these different like pathways that you can take. So sometimes like you can go up in here, you can go through here, you're kind of conformed into a single pathway here, and then it branches off into two pathways again, and then there's all these different pathways here, and that is like metaphorically like the point of the game anyway, is that there's all these different decisions that you can constantly make. Sometimes you have to do the same thing, and then sometimes it branches off, and I think that I intentionally did that just to get the player ready for like, okay, in the future you're gonna have choices that you're able to make, and kind of prepping them for like just kind of like getting it into their subconscious, like which path are you going to go down. So I guess it like gives them the autonomy, anyway, helps them practice making choices early on, and then every time you restart you're making new choices, so kind of cool. And then, yeah, I'm gonna move that down more. Cannot draw consistently for the life of me. Okay, and then this is a whole balcony. And I think if I want to make this, I keep looking at my map over here. Let's see, I want to make the entrance fairly wide on this too. So like it should only come down
about halfway from here to here, and then it'll curve out and come into like here.
You know what I can do? I can actually go like this. I can rotate it 90 degrees, and then now we are drawing symmetrically. So
so from here to here, from here to here. So this is basically like this. This is like this. These kind of curve out. Like little, these are banner poles. And then cool. Yeah, and then from here to here, we just have our stairs that go across. Cool. Fill this in a little bit here. I think I have the music up a little louder today, so maybe you can hear it now. Okay, and then it's kind of messy on this side, but for now, I'm just trying to get everything thrown together, and then I can go back someday and finalize it all. Because again, with that first level, I did the 2 images, more of like a proof of concept, like, is this even worth my time, and does it look good? But yeah, I think this is quite effective. And then if we drop down back to, whoops, here, oh no, I want to rotate the image. There we go. Yeah, I'll save that as layer 2. So where did I put it anyway? Was it in here and then in backgrounds? Interesting. I should put it in level 1, but level 1E. So that's fun. Making progress on all this. Surprising. Okay, so yeah, I am kind of running into an issue with the background because it's not quite fully fledged. So I'm gonna hop back over into our main game here. We are going to go to our tiling scene, and we're gonna grab, you know what, this actually might be where we want to take our screenshot from. We're gonna grab this. So let's see how big this is in comparison over here. Oh yeah, there's all the coloring and stuff that I did to it though. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do so much stuff. Okay, so maybe I do use this for now. I can go back through at some point and replace it, so it's not that big of a deal. I think maybe I just call it good for now. Yeah, there's not really too much I could do. I can duplicate it. Let's do the one underneath, and then like maybe I can put this here, which at least gets it, you know, relatively close. And then I could just soften these up a bit, and honestly, probably won't be able to tell too much just from looking at this. Oh, and then honestly, all of this part over here is going to be covered up anyway by the stairs, so I actually don't need to be too accurate on that. As long as this kind of area lines up. And again, any of those imperfections are actually really cool. It's what makes the game so special. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's roll with that, and then can I get rid of these? Yeah, and then for the most part, that's what we're looking for. So let's hop into there, get rid of that, delete these, and then I'll do something with that at some point. And then I think for the rest of it, let's, so technically when you walk through here, it is going to be continuous. So maybe I should finish that up real quick, which I left room for it. So that is perfect. But out here, this will come up a little ways on both sides. And there's these like big columns coming up. Again, everything's from top down, so it's a little hard to tell what it is, but you know. Stylistic. Yeah, so we're looking at kind of this semicircle here. Which is cool. I can probably copy that, put it down here-ish, and then fill that out. And then from here, I need a circle that connects this to this. Is that bad? Maybe I want to keep that. Yeah, that's all right. We'll keep that. Yeah, it's a little lopsided, but it's his life. Okay, so let's do the other step out here. I don't want to draw the rest of this. I just kind of want to get started moving forward. This is horribly lopsided, but it gives to the charm of the game, right? Okay, so this is good. I am going to clear this up just so I can see what it looks like, and then I'm gonna color in all of this in a second. Okay, so that's the general vibe, feel. Super happy with that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. The other thing that I could do is, did I put that under there? I think maybe I should take these and just draw like a little line out this way. And then I can select all of this and then get rid of that. Okay, and so for the most part, that's pretty good. Don't really want it to be that far out here. And then, let's see. So technically this will have an edge on it, so maybe I could do that real quick. Just something vaguely like that on both sides. And then the steps kind of disappear into that edge. So that's fine, and then I can fill both of these in. So let's fill in this side and see how much you can kind of make it overtake everything. Because clearing up all of those little like weird imperfections is effective. And then all of this noise is going to come from having all these overlaying layers on top. Because this one's the main one that has noise. So, and then we can clear this up too, which looks like that's about as far as we can go. So, okay, perfect. And then this is going to be more of like like an outdoorsy color, I think. So, not totally sure on that. Honestly, the way that this has turned out, if I draw over that, I actually might have to start doing that from now on, where I do the outline of everything first, because you don't get as much of like the weird artifacts. Although, again, the whole game is about all weird artifacts, so it's kind of nice. But that's why I'm doing it hand-drawn. So, should probably lean into that. Okay. So this is good. Yeah. Awesome. That will fit perfectly into here. And then what's cool too is if I get rid of that, that shows me exactly where I need to connect the two. Oh, you can't see it. Here. This shows me exactly where I need to connect the two pieces together once I finish this. So, awesome. Maybe I just kind of roll with this for now, just so I have like the base template of the game, and then I'll kind of progress from here. Because honestly, making the level isn't super exciting right now. So maybe I'll just throw this all together. Okay, so let's try our best to... I'm thinking about how exactly do I want to like systematize adding all of these levels together, because I have a lot of layers and I gotta figure that out, because copying everything over is gonna be a hassle. So a lot of these are outline layers, so maybe I should label everything. So that is the official background, and it doesn't even show, it seems like it shows up. That's actually really funny, because I think it's this overlay. Yeah, this is the overlay that gives it all of that like paper texture and stuff like this, and right here. And this hardly does anything. I guess there's a little bit where I didn't color in very much, but okay. So this is background, tiles, outline, plus color, it seems like. But so let's go like that. Let's go color. This is just more layers of color. I could probably combine all of these together. This is more coloring. Let's go color shading. Then we have the real shading, and this one does quite a lot. Oh wait, quite a lot for the game. This compared to this, I think, is a huge difference. This is just some kind of overdraw like stuff, which honestly doesn't change too much. Does a little bit, but eh. And then this is an important outline. So that's one outline, that's the other outline. So we'll go outline 1 and outline 2. Okay, so according to all of these layers, let me bring it over so you can see it. Okay, nope, we're not gonna do that. Let me do this instead. Yes, I know, it's looking good.
this is the second area that I've been working on so far is this level. So this is just an extension off of the other half right here, and then we're just going to keep going. And then this is what the entire level is kind of looking like right now. So you are here right now. This is you, and we just worked on this up to here. So then we're gonna work on all these parts in a second, but for now we're doing that. And then I'm gonna copy all of this over so that we can get everything that we need. Okay, so this one is overlay layer. So overlay. And this one has a huge impact on the coloring. It also seems to sharpen everything, which is fascinating because it's blurry here, and that like almost crisps it up, which is really cool. So nice. We like that. Does it do anything over here? Not a whole lot. It's actually quite seamless, but I'm not going to include that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then from here we have our outlines, this shading. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. I guess the only other thing is, do I do something here? No, it's just normal. So yeah, so I'll save this, save that too. And then let's make a picture out of this. So this will be level 1, 2, A. Save. Okay, so then just to, go bit by bit, I'm gonna throw this into our level here and see how it looks. So we gotta go to, where am I at? Scenes? There we go. Chapter 1. Man, I need to save that. Okay, so from here, what is this? Do I want that? Why do I want that? I don't think I want that. Don't need that anymore. The stone. So then it's just these two things. Okay, so I take this guy. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Hang on. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. Oh, and well, technically it kind of lines up. I need to... Oh no, I did do it. How am I gonna do that? Hang on. Because I want this area right here to be transparent. So let me see if I can like delete that off of here. Let me just make all of this like... Is that gonna work? Okay, I think I have something that works now. So, gonna give it a shot. Just see what happens. Okay, and then that actually should just replace it straight up. Okay, and then from here, I think we should be able to put this, we want it to be over the other one. So we do that, and then they line up right about there-ish. Okay, so I got something weird going on right there, but that's close enough. This is just part of the weird vignette thing that I had to do beforehand, so it'll look like that. Looks weird. Let me clean up these edges real quick. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but... Oh, and honestly, well, did the paper do anything? Oh, technically it did. Okay, so I can't get rid of that, but I can definitely delete that part right there. And then I'm going to want to
Okay, technically, if I like combine this here, this might work. And then how much room do I have on this? Oh, there's not a lot of room. Hang on. That's good enough. Okay, so let's try this. And I'm gonna leave it like this. Oh, I still got this weird thing going on here, though. Is this from this guy? Oh, it is. Why is it just barely faded in there? I must have forgotten to delete something. Hang on. Who's it on here? I guess I'll show you real quick what I'm doing. So I think it looks like it's, yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like it's from the tile almost. But I don't see anything on here. Like, it's totally possible that there's something there, but anyway. Doesn't look like it. Okay, and then we'll try that real quick. And then, out of curiosity, oh, it's because this has, okay, I've gotten rid of that. So let's put that all the way back. There, okay. Yeah, not really sure what's going on here, but should be, I don't know, somewhat close. So this is the last, I'll work on this. So should be close enough. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got that. It's not the prettiest, but we're just trying to get this all put together as quickly as possible to just give it a shot, you know. Okay, so then from here, come out here. Why has this duplicated the other scene? What? I forget, I have this animation control. And it's using the old sprites on it. Right here. And so these are, it's, as soon as I start the game, it turns it back into the other picture, which is hilarious. So, okay. Cool. So this looks fine enough for me. It'll be something like this when you start. Yeah, and then you're just walking around here, which is cool. Oh, look at that. The fog is actively rolling in. And it should continue to creep up, I think. Maybe it doesn't. Is it attached to the actual camera though? Anyway, so then you come into this area here, you'll walk up these steps, you'll go through one of these, and then you're out on these steps into here. Yeah, looks super cool. Yeah, honestly, yeah, this is starting to feel really, really exciting to work on. There's a lot of potential here with this. Heck yeah, cool. So let me put like, I think for the dialogue, let me, or for the interactable, let me do something real quick. Right now I just have a bunch of like these like really basic stuff in here, where if it's like, oh, if you open up these random things, like you can do stuff.
But I think now that I'm kind of more thinking about it clearly, I want to actually have all of these be variables that I can write, and so then we'll go, well, I guess dialogue, right? And then instead of creating a new string, we just use our string, and then instead of this, with a whole bunch of different variables, at some point I'll use all those variables, but for now, I can make this way bigger. That's cool. Oh, honestly, this is also super cool. I ended up figuring out that in Unity, I did this a while ago, figured out that you can make your own classes within Unity, which is really nice, because otherwise you have to do a bunch of weird lists and stuff. So I have a list of my custom class, and then the class itself has all these options that I can change. So I'm actually going to make an override constructor where it only takes in string dialogue, string speaker, honestly, named does not have to be used. If there's a speaker, then it's named. Otherwise, it's not. So I don't even need to use that as a thing. And then interrupt. I'll probably also do that as a variable in here. But anyway, so that way, you only need to create this, where you just have dialogue and then it doesn't interrupt. And honestly, I might even go create a whole nother one of these where we just don't even have this variable, because most dialogue will not interrupt other dialogue, and so then we can get rid of that. So then that makes creating a new dialogue object super short. So we just have dialogue, and then for the most part unnamed, so perfect. Which honestly at this point, I'm already seeing that like this would be easier if I did this. We will also get rid of the named, at which case we'll just do that. Perfect. Okay, so from here, just setting all these default values so I don't have to do anything. So on average, the typical dialogue will just have my string of text. And this can be a variable length of text, and so it will run through all of the text here, and it will go through each individual item in the dialogue, which is really cool. So then from here, for the interactable, I just have it show whatever dialogue. And at this point, now I can literally make the dialogue whatever I want. Yeah, and I think that I should also add the public string named. And we'll use that at some point, but for now, that's just a variable that's sitting there. So what that does is in here, I can create new dialogue, and this is what it'll show. And technically, I don't need any of these right now, but we'll go. I don't know, something. This is where we have to create like actual fun content. Right? This is the whole essence of like Undertale and stuff. So this is a large organic looking shrub. It appears to be green. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of the ... dots because with this font it messes up the is it kerning? I don't know, but like the vertical spacing, it's kind of weird. Another shrub. Okay, cool. Fun. And then if we go over here, oh, that's what I should do. Yo, cursor. We have to make a cursor item so that when you go to click on things, it shows a interactive little feature there. So let me add that to our Trello board. That's a great idea. Cursor. So let's go mouse cursor. Cool. So we're kind of drawing room 2. That's good enough. Oh, and then we want to do this. So every time we click on something, it plays a paper sound, which is cool. But maybe only when it shows the dialogue. Maybe that's what I should do. Okay, getting sidetracked, but this is going to be really good. So we go up here. We don't want to grab the dialogue class. We want to grab this guy. For this guy, we go public audio source, audio source. That will always have, oh no, it won't. Okay. Then we have to go public audio clip, paper sounds. And then again, it'll grab a random paper sound every time. And then this is when we show dialogue. It is going to only play the sound though when it sets this active. Oh, and it might be cool technically when I run through each of these and like if you're talking to multiple people. I have in my mind this vision of like a piece of paper like opening up and then that shows the dialogue box and then like it crumples up every time and that's like the animation. And then I was imagining if you're talking to 2 different people, it'd be cool if it like transitions like that too between them. So I might do something like that. For now, when it sets it active, so when it first shows the dialogue box, we're going to go audio source dot clip equals paper sounds, and then we're going to go just a random one of those sounds. So and then we have to play it. So I might do something like that. That would be kind of cool. So instead of set active, we'll go show animation. And then I think right here we'll go, yeah, show close animation. Or honestly, maybe I put all of this in here. So at the start of every iteration, it'll have to show the animation. Then what it does is it waits for the typing to be done. It does all of that. Oh, actually, hang on. No, because I have this nested. Hang on. This one. Sorry, I need to put it in here. So we have to go put this inside of here. I do still want it to remove because it has to remove each individual line. So it's super complicated, but basically there's a bunch of objects. Okay, so basically there's like a new dialogue object. That gets added to a queue of dialogues. And so then there's like multiple people trying to talk. And so this could be like a conversation back and forth. So there's like person A, then it goes to person B, and then back to person A. And then within A, he could have, maybe he just says like one thing, and then person B says two things, and then person A says two things. And so what it's doing right now is it cycles through this, into this, into this. But within each dialogue then, it has to cycle through each string. Because if I want to have like a lot of text that one character says, it has to show it all. Then it shows the next line, then it shows the next line. And right now, where I want the paper sounds to play is right here, in between each dialogue. And so then it'll do like an animation here, open up again, do each line. And so right now, the way that the code works is that this right here is each character. And so for each character, they have, like, if there's a lot of the dialogue, then it has to go through each line of dialogue. And so then it removes each line, and then it keeps going. And then once it runs out of the dialogue, then it gets rid of it. But I don't think that I need to set the container false here. I should only do that dialogue.list count. I should, in fact, always do that here. And then we only check for doing that here. And then we show an animation. And I actually don't even need to check if it's if there's no one else speaking, because that's what this is saying, is that if there's no one else talking, then it goes away. But I actually want it to go away every time someone is finished talking. So that means that every single time we have to show an animation for opening and closing the dialog box. Okay, so that makes sense. Then we play the sound. Technically it would close and have to play a sound as well. So I'd want to do that here. That might get hectic with if it has to repeat. But I guess I could like have a little pause in between each thing, and so I could go something like yield return new, wait for seconds. Really? There we go. Yeah. And we just have it wait for like a half a second, because I think each of the paper sounds is only like a second long or so. And then it'll, yeah, something like that. So that's cool. So we do that. It waits. If there's more, it restarts. If not, it's just done. And then it restarts, does the whole animation, plays the sound, then it goes through his dialogue, closes. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. So that totally works. And then from here, we want to, this is only in the dialogue, so we don't need to do it for each individual interactable, which is nice. Maybe for some of them, I'll have the sound be different. But again, I think the default sound has to be paper. I think, yeah, that could be interesting, because my plan is having robot characters in the game at some point, and so maybe when you talk with them, they have like a robot sound that comes up, and it's like, so that could be fun. But for now, these guys are just paper. So I think I'll attach the paper sound to here. And that is just sitting there, doing its thing. I can adjust volumes later, and then for now we go these. And then that looks good enough. Oh, and then technically this is... That's actually good. I have functionality for having two different dialogue options, because one of them doesn't have the name and the other one does. I wonder if I could do that real quick, because now we want if there's no name tag associated with it, then we should set the dialogue sprite renderer to a different sprite. So where would we do that? I guess we could do that here, even though it's probably always going to show the same animation, and then that would just be the thing that shows up at the very end. So I think right here we go if dialogue data dot speaker equals nothing. We go sprite equals the second sprite out of the two, and then we'll do the first one there. Yeah, that honestly, that should totally work, just like that. I just have to assign variables now, so yeah, looks good. Dialogue, so we gotta set this guy, and then what he wants to set is that one or this one. Cool. And then both of these have that weird multiple thing again. It's so annoying. I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, so from here, let's clean this up. And then we don't show it right now. And then I wanted to do the cursor thing real quick as well. So let's do that. I know this is a whole bunch right now, but I just have it on my mind, and so we can blast through it real quick. So technically we have done the paper sound. Whoa. When dialoguing, which is cool. And then at some point too, I want to add a leaning forward when you start running. It's just going to make everything feel a lot more fun to mess with. Okay, so let's hop over here. And I think we just make a cursor. So I guess the question is, we have a couple different options that we could do for a cursor design. So we could either do, so we need two different cursors, a normal one and then a pointer, like interactive one. So either we have something that's just like a super basic like crosshair at all times, and it just looks like that. Or we could do some sort of like dot. And I feel like both of those are kind of fun. That might be a little too crosshairs, like gun game crosshairs, and then some sort of like interact object, something like, I don't know. Could also do like a finger. So let's go crosshair
pointer in the game. Instead of crosshair, let's do cursor. Yeah, so I do like the finger interact thing, because if we look at like Amnesia, for instance, cursor, it had like it was the first time where we had like the hand thing that shows up in like an indie game, and it kind of popularized that, which I think is cool. I don't see too much here though that we could look at. Maybe just one of these. Honestly, I kind of like this one right here. I think that's good for like when we actually get ready to click on something, and then we do just like a very basic like dot pointer otherwise. I think I did a dot for headlight, and I liked how that looked. The crosshair just looks too much like you're trying to shoot something, and so I don't want to do that. Okay, and then the other thing is we want it to be a white crosshair, so just something like that. That's pretty good. And then I do love that like low resolution look to it. Since that is a rather small crosshair though, I am gonna drop this guy way down. How much do I want to go down on this? Nearest neighbor looks pretty nice. Okay, and then we'll go like that. Got a square shape here, and then oops. Oh, you know what? Actually, I feel like I'd rather have a hand that's like actively grabbing. How would you do that? If I go like, maybe I could screenshot my camera here. How would I want that to be? So something more like that, and then because I love having like the finger kind of coming out there, like the pinky there. How am I doing this? And then it needs to be more like that, and then go like this is wild. Like that? I feel like it needs to be more like this. This is so disorienting. Oh, my hand is cramping. Okay. Let's go like that, right there. Has to be back this way though. It's so weird. And then like this. Is this gonna work? Oh no, I think. Oh no, it didn't work. Maybe I can show up on the live stream if I watch it, and then I can screenshot it real quick. That's so funny. I feel like I just recently saw this like oh yeah, look at this. Perfect. I just saw this video of
I think it's Germa, like he was playing Stanley Parable. Anyway, and they were taking screenshots from his live stream, and they were like putting it on a website, and so he was totally like messing around with it for a while and going like, oh, like, oh, put a spider in my mouth, and he just sat there on stream for like 5 minutes going like, it was really funny. Okay. My dot might be too low fidelity for this. Might have to redo my dot here. Or you know what? Do this again. Let me grab this. I feel like this is like the best way to do things, is this this little plugin that I have right here. Just kind of gets rid of like every color. Don't want to do that one, just the blues. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, and then that just kind of makes it easier for me to clean up. Or, you know, I could use like a more popular program that actually works, but I like Paint.net, so I'm gonna stick with it. Okay. So here we are. And look at that, it's basically the same. I wonder if people are even going to be able to tell what that is. That looks so funny. Okay, what am I doing here? How come that's not erasing? Shouldn't that just, like, why is it turning black? What in the world? I am erasing, right? This is bizarre. What is happening right now? What if I do it on the white dot? Like, why is it doing this? This is so weird. Oh gosh. So for some reason your eraser is tied to the color that you just selected. That's weird. Okay, so I think thumb looks a little long there. There we go. And I'm not gonna use the you know, my actual like hand color there. I'm gonna make it black and white, but oh yeah, because I forgot. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Keegan's supposed to have white gloves. So I need to remember to do that with his character design there. But if we make these like white looking, that's actually gonna help. So it doesn't have to be super white, but nice. That looks good. Dang. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So we're gonna use that, and then we're just gonna have a dot. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna make the dot bigger, just because. You know what? Okay, let's try this again. It's not gray.
We want white. And then let's go like that. Okay, probably I can go bigger than that too. Yeah, because I don't want it to be a jarring difference between the two. Also, am I centered on this? Okay, so I'm 34, need to be like 17. 17, 17. Yeah, that's pretty much centered. So, we just need to make this guy look centered now. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, let's save this, or actually here. I think that's centered now. Okay, so we're gonna save these as I want to do characters. Maybe I should create a folder for UI, and then we're gonna go cursor 1. Should probably get rid of the black background. Okay, it's cursor 1, and then cursor 2. Do I want it to be black, or do I want to get rid of the gray? I think that's good. I think that's good. We'll see how it looks. Because it might look exactly how we want, so. Okay, cool. Boom, boom. And then I gotta figure out how to do a cursor. Man, I remember in GameMaker 8.1, way back then, they had a feature where you could set the cursor in the game. I'm sure Unity has that. I just don't want to use any built-in stuff. So I do have a mouse object, and it continually follows wherever you have your mouse. So maybe I'll put it in here. Yeah, let's just add a sprite renderer to it. So we go public sprite renderer cursor public sprite, and then we just go cursors. I don't know. At this point, this is where the interactables are gonna matter. So there's two ways that I could do this. One, every time you mouse over one of these, it could set your cursor. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Like, maybe I could create it finds the player mouse every single time, which could work, and that might be the better option. It'd be pretty straightforward. Or I could make the mouse constantly check to see if it's collided with something, and then it checks if that object has an interactable tag on it. Which probably is secretly what the onMouseEnter function is doing behind the scenes on Unity. And so maybe doing this would be more computationally efficient. So let's go, but I might have to add a collider to this object, and you have to do stuff where you have to like add a rigid body and things to do collision detection. So let's do it on here. So there's going to be a private player mouse, and on, I should probably change that to awake. On awake, we look for mouse equals object, find object any type, player mouse. And then that, yeah, and then that gives us our player mouse. And then from here on, so we have private void. Oh, also, I don't know if you remembered yesterday, but I was struggling with getting the on click to work. Turns out it's called on mouse down, not on click, but it's exactly the same thing. So anyway, on mouse exit. And here we go. Let's create a function in here. So then we go public void. Set cursor. And then we just go like int I, int c, cursor dot sprite equals cursors c. Yeah, super simple. So we just call this function every time we do this. And then on enter, it's an interactable, so it should show the hand. So we'll do 1 for that. And then for exit, we want to not show the hand, so we do the other one. Super simple. In fact, I think I did something like this on Headlight, now that I'm thinking about it. So, that's funny. Okay, so what we have to do here, we don't have to do anything on the interactables because it finds the mouse object. So that's cool. But on the mouse object, we need to add a sprite renderer. This has to be way above like everything. Yeah, and I probably don't need to draw that on the UI. I don't know. And then we just draw the cursors on it. So that's in UI. Let's do this just to see how it looks. That's pretty good. It's a little crooked. That's interesting. So what are we on the mouse object right now? Oh, interesting. Why is he rotated all weird? Okay, so this is good. It kind of looks like he's the hands like. That's so funny. And then this is the other cursor. Boop. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we just go cursor, cursor, sprite, and that should do it right there. Okay, where is the sprite? Where's my mouse? So it is showing up in the right spot, but how come it's looking like it's not showing anything? Scale weird? Like, well, it's showing up on here. How come this isn't working? This is like a super simple thing. This isn't even that big of a deal. This is really funny. These are sprites, right? Like, yeah, these are sprites. So we have a sprite showing up right there, and then this guy just shows up just like that. Should work. Interesting. Okay, so what if we put this guy? Okay, now we've lost the sprite. Okay, and then so right now the sprites have disappeared. Maybe something like that happened when I started? That's so interesting. No, okay, it's still totally missing. So it shows up on here. It's not like it's disappeared. And then if we put this guy in there. So it certainly works. Hang on. This is fascinating. I'm blown away. I actually don't know what to do right now because this is really strange. This is very not typical. So obviously the other thing that I could do is just put this inside of here, and maybe there's something weird going on with that. That's kind of weird, but like worst case scenario, like. Ah, okay, that is exactly what's going on. Okay, so the mouse is technically on the screen, right? So in the 3D world, it shows up like way up here. Well, turns out it's past the camera, and so if you look right here, it disappears. If I go past the camera. Boop. So that's what's happening. So it gets set right there. So, honestly, easiest offset or easiest way to fix that, just put this like right here, and then we just set it above everything. So, piece of cake. And I could do that in here, but that would mess up other things if I had an offset. So we'll just leave it as such, and this should totally work now. So let's test everything. This is so cool. So we got an interactable. So that I want when you click over here. No, it stopped working again. Oh my gosh. Why is this happening? Shouldn't this be like... Okay, so weird. Oh, okay, so it's setting it to negative, like, 12? This is so bizarre. Okay, I'm actually, maybe I will fix that. Okay, so I'm going to turn this into a new vector 3. We're going to go vector 3, just like mouse position equals this. Then we're going to go impos equals, can we just set the z equal to 0? Okay, so because it's a vector 3, we can do that. Then we just set the transform position to that. So that way it's always on the ground. Kind of, I don't know why that hasn't happened before, but whatever. And then that shouldn't mess up the camera too much. In fact, that should make everything better. So. Oh, now I might have to change some stuff with that. The camera feels a little funky now. How did I do this? What did I do? I didn't really clamp magnitude. That's the one that does it. What's max follow? Okay. Well, okay. So has it really always been that like slow? So if I just change this back, and I guess the question is like how far off does it really get? Because if it's not an issue, then maybe I can just, anyway. This is so interesting. Weird programming stuff. So it's very soft right now. Like it's a very slow feeling. It looks like at the maximum depth though, the Z here seems to hit like 12. I'm very curious, like why does it go up and down? It's kind of weird, isn't it? But I think in the meantime though, let's just make this like 20, and then that should pretty much deal with it. And then also it looks like on my cursor, I can't tell if that's just the sprite or not, but it looks like there's like a duplicate cursor. So I think that potentially I overlaid like the normal cursor on this one, which is a little annoying, so I gotta figure that out real quick. Oh, I totally did. That's so weird. That's fine. Let me just take this now, and I'll move it like there, and then we'll just save this as a new one. So, piece of cake. Yeah, and then we'll just bump this to 20, and that pretty much takes care of everything, and I might make this like twice as big. So, depends. I do kind of like how small it is. Yeah, it might be too big. And also I kept the black on that. Don't want to do that. Okay. The other thing that I was thinking about doing was scaling this up, or actually I can just do that on here. I just have to make both of these point. Okay, and then the final thing, final thing, and then we're good to go, is on void start. Unity make cursor Invisible. I don't know how to do that. Cursor.visible. I don't want to lock it. I just want to hide it. Cursor visible dot. Okay. Now we got a real game cooking. This is good. So I pop over here and I'm going to turn down our paper sound. It's a little too loud. And then let's give this a test real quick. So we got this, we got our cursor here. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna add something to this real quick so we can actually like see things. I'm gonna make this like way big, like this. So that if you just click over here, it's like a thick cloud of fog seems to be rolling in. Cool. Oh, and then this is so cool too because I can add things like if you've clicked on if I've clicked on this interactable like multiple times, it can keep a tracker of that and then say different things and like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah, there's so much that I can do with this. Okay, so we're obviously gonna turn that off. Yeah, okay, let's check it out. This is so cool, and we're listening to fog music right now in the music, so this is all part of the game. It's so cool. Okay, so then you come over here. That's awesome. Oh no, I've hit an error. Is it this line right here? $100? Yeah. It's probably just because there is nothing there. Like, dialogue list. Count. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. See what's going on there. Okay, this is so cool. The paper sound though. Love it. Okay, so we did this. We did that. That closed out. Then we came over here, clicked on this one. Ah. Okay, so it is removing everything. Even if it doesn't need to. Oh, right, because this should be happening outside of this, right? Because every time we go through the dialogue, yeah, it's only after we've gone through the dialogue that we need to remove it. Why am I removing it in the middle of it? Yeah, because this is, each speaker does this. Oh, wait, and I didn't even check this. Is it showing the like generic text or the generic dialog box where there's no speaker? Because that, oh, that's so cool. That's perfect.
That's so cool. Okay, yeah, so it was just removing it when it shouldn't have been for some reason. And then, oh, I think it's private, technically. I want to be able to keep track of this here, see what's going on. It's in this one. Okay, so then that's each little dialogue thing, and then it goes away. And then if I click on it multiple times, see it shows up. Hey, oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Look at this, look at this. Perfect, that's exactly how I want it to go. Oh, that's awesome. So now I can do multiple dialogue trees, like set up at the same time. If you queue in multiple things, close, open up a new one, and then another one. That's cool. Okay, so that works. That totally works. Yeah, and then right here, this is cool because this will be all animated as one thing soon. I guess I could even add, oh man. So this is where I could go really overboard with everything, but I could animate even like the floor, which I do kind of want to do. I kind of want the whole game to have this like shaking vibe. Would be really cool. I guess what we could do right now is make his running animation, because I want him to lean forward when he runs. So we could work on that real quick. Yeah, so then you come up here. Man, I just love the interactive hand there. Obviously, nothing's going to be like perfectly white in this game, so they might be like a different color like this, so the hand will stand out more. Yeah, oh, that's so cool. And then you come out here and you go into this area too. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's some huge stuff I feel like that we got through today. And I'm not totally done. So, big thing, mouse cursor, did that. I might honestly put these as like week 1, you know, and then we'll create a new list of things, just because we're kind of accruing like a lot of progress on here. So this is super cool. Yeah, so let's go lean forward when moving. Honestly, at this rate, like, man, I might tackle the lighting renderer at some point. I don't even know what else to work on. Like, I just have to keep making the rest of the level. So, room 3, which technically we have, I would say, like, this is room 3 here. That was 2. This is 3. The weird little like hedge maze area is gonna be 4. This honestly will be fun to just throw in here at some point because we will have to work on combat soon, and then that's basically what this area is gonna be. So that's actually cool. We could work on that. Could probably put this whole zone in like another area, and then this is really like the meat of the game starts in this area. This is like where you'll be able to make like your first choice essentially. So there's gonna be like someone being attacked by someone else, and you can either save them or not, or you don't save them but you kill this guy and that person dies, but then maybe you save this guy but then the person lives, or maybe you just walk by them, and like there's so many different things you can do. And that's really where the game starts. So
Super exciting. Arena. Yeah, that's gonna be cool though. So this essentially is like this little like secret pathway that you can go off, and then it takes you to this like coliseum where you just like fight enemies a whole bunch, and you can get like upgrades and stuff. So, let's go. Concept art, map, draft, level 1. Yeah, and I think very quickly, because already I see that this is like a room that will take like 10 to 15 minutes to walk through all the way, and maybe 20 if you're slow, which is about the pace that I want for the game. But I'm seeing that if I want like playthroughs to only be 4 or 5 hours long each playthrough, I'm gonna have to kind of truncate most of it. Like, it's gonna have to be pretty quick. So like from here to the next area, like there can't be a lot of transition where you're just walking through a whole bunch of stuff. We kind of have to get moving pretty quickly, because it's gonna be like an area, another area, and then you start moving into like a new zone, and I'm probably only gonna be able to have so many different zones lined up, or like, you know, maps that you can actually walk through before it starts to get really bloated. So that's very interesting. So once we start working on the arena, then we can also add in all of the combat elements, and then we just polish chapter 1, and then we can do arena combat elements. This is actually, yeah, this is this is progressing way better than I thought it would. So I think, just for sake of kind of making sure that I stay consistent, and I don't like overwork one day, I'm probably gonna do this, and that's like all that I'm gonna work on for the rest of today. So lean forward when he starts running. So let's pull up the run animation, and that is in here. Okay, and then we want to pull up the run. So nice. Yeah, so I think from here, oh, hang on, here we go. Nope, not this, there we go. So all that we really need to do here is, on his character sprite, we don't need him to lean forward much. I think with, I've seen with like Darkwood, the character is like very heavily leaned forward when he runs, like almost to the point where he's sideways. This is pretty good. Yeah, something like this. And that's a little too far for me. Like, he doesn't need to be leaned forward that much, but I think a little bit leaned forward would be nice. So anyway, now that we got that, so probably what I'll do is I'm going to duplicate each one. Let me name each layer. So we'll call it run 1, run 2, run 3, run 4, run 5, run 6. So I am going to add the ability for us to just like migrate his head forward by coloring all of this in. And that might kind of just like give the illusion that he's, you know, moving forward and all that. This looks really funny. It looks like it looks like Super Meat Boy from above. And his head's just like sticking out of the middle of his chest. It's like first person shooter simulator where your head's just down here because your gun's way up. That's so funny. Let's also then get rid of this on the top layer because I want his feet to stay the same like distance. And then all that we're doing is we're just like moving this forward and like maybe only by that much. So I should probably count it. So like 1, 2, yeah, just like 2 times. And like we haven't even done anything with the arms too, so like all of that like I have to polish up at some point. But I think for now, just doing this. Okay. Let me think about how I want to do this. Because technically this is his shoulder line. So we do want to keep that. The big thing here is that we are going to oh, it stole my color. Weird. Was I doing 3 thickness before? Yeah, pretty much. So I guess with his arms, you know, like they would also be moved forward because he's running. But maybe his hands are moved back, so it would be more like because right here his hand kind of shows up there. Let's see how far back is his hand. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Gotta change my music so I don't get copyrighted. There we go. Cool. Yeah, this is interesting. I kind of don't know how to tackle this totally. I'm gonna kind of clear up a bit of. Have I saved this? let me open up. Another copy of this real quick. Yeah, just so I get this like duplicate backup layer in case I mess anything up. Okay, so I'm gonna start erasing here. Although, if he's running, like he's leaned forward, so technically you'll be able to see like the bottom of his coat as he runs, and his legs and whatnot, and so it's not like it's totally just like shifted forward. I don't know. This is so fascinating. It's a tricky problem. think this would be moved forward a little bit.
And at this point, I don't know. I'm just trying to see where it goes. Like, yeah. Okay, so then from here,
we will want to kind of connect all of this together. And this will be kind of connected up here. Yeah, I guess technically his shoulder line should, for the most part, remain pretty intact here. Like, maybe he's kind of leaning forward, but it's pretty thick. Yeah. So something like that. I don't really know how I'm gonna do the arms, so I'll have to figure that out at some point, but yeah, it's good enough. Really, it's more of a proof of concept, I think. Just kind of like, does this even look good? Which I don't know. I don't know that it'll look good. It looks kind of weird.
okay. I think that looks, I don't know, somewhat normal. Probably gonna have to do this 6 times for each one. Yeesh. Okay. So first things first, get rid of these. Get rid of that.
Let's clean it up. Arms should pretty much move forward. I mean, like, maybe his hand positioning, I think, is gonna remain in the same space.
I think once you get down to like mid torso, you're just leaning forward. So like I think your hands are gonna stay kind of in the same place.
But definitely all of the upper
is gonna move. So it moves up twice, and then we have everything down here, which
yeah. So okay, I think we're moving a little faster because I know what I'm doing this time. And this does look a little better now. So from here, we want to clean up all of this.
and then I am kind of haphazardly
Like erasing this, so I need to make sure that I'm hitting the same level as the bottom one. Whoop, can't do that. Oh no. That guy has to stay there. Yeah, it is going to reveal a little bit more of the legs, so I'm going to have to redraw that, but that's okay. Okay. And then that is pretty good. Is that... yeah, okay. And honestly, I think the way that I'm going to do this is...
I don't know, man. This is funny looking. Okay, question. Has this... okay. I am going to make sure that I mimic what was going on down here. Because that has to line up appropriately. Okay, and that, I think, is finishing up there. Cool. Don't wanna, don't wanna overwrite that yet, so hang on. Boom. That's also an interesting idea, because when you're running, is your head gonna kind of bob up and down when you do that? Because you're like taking a step forward every time. Interesting. Because I could make it so that it's a little more dynamic instead of him just like, something like that. I don't know. It's too late. It's too late. I'm just gonna do it. I'll come back to this sometime later. It's close enough. It's good enough. We just gotta work with it right now. Okay, so this side, we get rid of the legs and the hands. And honestly, I probably should just split up the sprites into a top half and a bottom half. Yeah, I should. Well, yeah. I'll do that later. I'll do that some other time. Right now, I'm just kind of messing with it. Okay, so for this guy, we want to mimic this down here. So right, can't erase the foot. That's kind of the whole point. And then this down here. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. He looks kind of chubby. He looks large. He looks large. Why does he look so large? He looks very wide. I'm seeing a problem now. This is an issue. He looks very wide. Why does he look so wide? I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, so let's narrow him down a little bit. Slim him down. Maybe he kind of comes out from, because right, his shoulders aren't gonna go all the way out to his body. He's not that wide. It's just gonna be from like here in. So like shoulder width in, from like here to here in. He should have a body. Maybe a little wider than that. Okay, this is probably good right here. Yeah, that looks normal. And then I'm going to make that like that. Okay, so then from here, clear this up. And then we'll just color that in. Okay. Whoop. Swoop. Okay. And then we do the same thing here. Does that look reasonable? Oh, that looks pretty reasonable, I think. Keep trying to go to save. Yeah, honestly, I think that's good. I think when he's standing up, that is the only time that he would kind of bob up and down. But I think for now we'll just leave it. It's unless it's egregious, it's we can fix it later. Like unless it's just it looks awful, and terrible. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. Same thing. Let's see. Is that anti-wide boy enough? Or is he still like super wide? That's a little wide. How does it compare to the first one? Okay, yeah, he's a little thick right here. That's crazy. It's so funny. Okay, so that should do it. Okay, so we got that one. Boom, easy, piece of cake. Moving on to this guy. Same thing. Boom, boom. Get rid of these. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I honestly, the fact that I've created, man, I keep going to save. Can't save yet. All of these different kind of like generic looking sprites though is really going to help me out in the future because I'm going to be able to go back and like use a lot of this for other characters, which is really nice. So definitely planning on figuring out a way to kind of do that. So his shoulders, it looks like his elbows. They're a little weird. They might have to come back, but so something like this, which then gives us a little more depth for his leg right there, which is interesting. There we go. Right, and this part. Okay, and how does that look? Yeah, looks fine. It could be a little curved on this side, I guess. Okay, awesome. This is actually looking less weird by the moment, the more I work on it. So that's cool. Awesome. All right. Last one. Okay, something like that. That looks a little weird. Why does that look weird? Oh, it's not that weird. Okay. He's just actually thin on that one. And he gets thicker throughout. Yep, okay. Good enough. Cool. That's good. I am going to save this as a new thing, and it's just going to be run lean. Just so that way we're not doing anything weird and I'm not accidentally deleting something that I need later. So okay, so in the run folder, let's create run 1. Put all these guys in there. Run 2. And then we can open up these guys and put them in here. Perfect. Yeah, he's a wide boy. He's a wide boy for sure. Yeah, so it wasn't the head being centered on the shoulders. It was like the arms, because that was the part that I wasn't sure about, because I think his elbow's too far forward. But yeah, I think typically the run form looks, obviously it's a little bit leaned forward in general, but like it's just, how do you draw that from top down is crazy. Because like everything is kind of leaning forward. I'm going for something more like this though, where it looks kind of straight up and down from the legs, and then it's the torso that's more so leaning forward. Granted, all of these are drawings and not people, but we'll see how it looks. Maybe it looks really funny. I don't know. It's probably just gonna look like he's like, oh, like, oh, my stomach hurts really bad. This is gonna be potentially hilarious. Okay. Animator. Yeah, so we need to put all of these in here. There we go. Okay, let's see how it looks. Dude, why does that actually look good? Like, okay, he's a little hunched. He looks a little like hunchback. He looks a little like, oh, I have to go do the dishes. But I think when I add more elements to the arms and stuff, I think that this is the right approach. Oh, that's so funny. He got caught on the things. Oh no, now his rotation's all off. Oh no. Wait, me running into the thing messed it all up. Oh, look at his hand. Oh no, what have I done? This is terrible. Okay, I need to make it so he cannot rotate like that. Yeah, so I just wanted something that kind of made it a little more active. Okay, I need to make it so he cannot spin like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just his body that spins, so this all works fine. Yeah, so obviously his arms are gonna be. Because even when he walks right now, his arms don't do anything. They're just sitting at his head or sitting at his side, and they're gonna be swinging more. So this is a good start, though. Certainly a good start. Okay, funny. I just wanted a difference between walking and running, and honestly, the transition. There's another thing that I want to do. Notice how sometimes when I start running, yeah, there's that one frame where his back is less leaned forward. I gotta figure out which frame it is, but like if I go here and I put on, I think it's this frame here. So that frame going into this frame, he's leaning less forward and then more forward. I think what I'm going to do is make two running animations. One of them where he's slightly running forward and then way running forward. And that way when you start running every time, he'll lean like fluidly forward. And I think that'll help with like the jarring kind of animation right now. Like you can kind of see shadows of what I'm going for, like where he'll slowly transition one way or the other. Anyway, so that'll look cool. But for now, this actually works quite well, I think. He's running. Yeah, so he's hoofing it. And then something else that is my performance tanking right now? Why is the performance so bad? It might be all the fog coming in, honestly. Let me turn that off. Yeah, okay, weird. The fog was messing up everything. Classic fog. Okay, and then if I run into these... Are they messing up everything still? How does this work? Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. That looks good. He can't quite fit through there. Cool. Yeah, this is incredible. Yeah, and then it has a default timer for when it just cycles through the text, so technically you don't have to click through it, and then all of that, I think, I'll make it variable, so I can change it. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. I guess the other big thing, too, is right now I have it type through the text, and so sometimes it... if there's multiple lines, see how it jumps up? I want to figure out a way to make it so that it stays up at the top the whole way through. I guess the way that I would do that, actually, now that well, yeah. The only way that you could do that easily is if I just make all of the dialogue up in the air like that. So instead of being centered, it is up top, like this. That honestly works fine. That's fine. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that too, and then also, even like the sound itself sounds like somebody grinding on a skateboard right now. Sick trick, dude. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a lot of stuff, honestly. So we are at, boom, done a lot of things so far. I don't know about week 1. Is it week 2? Technically, technically I've been working on this for a week, so I mean it's Thursday, but yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. So we're getting ready to work on other things now. Yeah, so probably tomorrow, I'll try to work on rooms 3 and 4. The rooms are going to be the big part because I can't really add any interactables if I don't know where they go. So I have to make the actual map to know what else I have to make. So I think at this point I just have to draw a whole bunch. So maybe I could end up putting in pretty much the whole room. And so I think I might spend like tonight or tomorrow drawing the rest of the map in detail, and then I can just kind of copy that over tomorrow. Yeah, and then I guess technically we need to polish each of the rooms, so like technically like polish room 1, polish room 2, so kind of boring stuff, but this will help it feel a little bit more like we can tackle it. Okay, we'll just leave it like that for now. Anyway, so tomorrow, that's what it looks like I'll end up doing, is just working on drawing everything. I might look into the lighting renderer system, maybe. All right, well anyway, that is pretty much all that I have for today, so thanks for hanging out, and hope to see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'm headed out for the night.
It's